Welcome to this podcast, Married to His Will. I am Suzette Williams, your host. If this is your first time, I am so excited to welcome you to this podcast. I'm so excited that you've taken the time to listen or watch. This podcast is for inspiration and enjoyment. I also take pleasure in providing a bit of clinical information here as well, since I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia and nationally certified. Please catch up on previous episodes where I share my testimony, especially that first episode of season 1. I want to remind you that God can deliver you out of that problem you face. He's not only interested in saving you from hell, but He cares that you thrive in Him. I'm excited about this journey and for all those who have joined me along the way, and for those who will join me next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you find this content enjoyable or inspiring in any way. Please read the description area for any other information that may not be stated in the video or corrections that are made. Since my divorce, I have found a new appreciation for who I am and who I'm becoming in Christ. To my future hubby, if you're listening out there, may you find me where God has positioned me to be in His presence. I am so happy He is always there, and I plan to stay married to His will. Enjoy this next episode. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Married to His Will. I'm so excited that you've taken the time to join me here. And I have a wonderful guest that will be joining me in a few minutes. And her name is Dr. Sandra Hill. I'm so happy she's joining me again. She was on a previous episode, and she talked about the fact that she was in the process of writing this book. This particular book is called Embracing Solitude, and you'll see more about it or hear more about it as we go through the podcast today. And so she's written a wonderful book. It's Embracing Solitude, a guide to unlocking greatness in the process. So I want you to meet this wonderful author. I love the way she writes. I really do. She really gets me so hooked on it. I was reading so much of it so quickly. I had to take my time, slow myself down because there was so much information to gather from it. One of the things I told her is that I really feel seen in this book. Like, she sees me. She understands my process. She put things into words that I didn't have to express what I was going through. And so I want to read her bio that she has right here in the book. Dr. Sandra Hill, a woman of purpose with a nationwide mindset and many God-given gifts, including encouraging, teaching, leading, guiding, coaching, and ministering healing to others. She is a woman who remains grateful always for the things God has done in and through her life. It is her love language to see individuals inspired, empowered, and encouraged to live victorious, healed, progressive, and successful lives. She is an academician who holds a bachelor's degree in business administration, Master of Science degrees, education English, doctorates, leader in conflict resolution. She is humble to share a small piece of her with you. And that's exactly what she did in her book. I'm telling you, this woman wrote a powerful piece here, and it's going to be helpful for those who read it. And so I want to thank you all who have subscribed here and are on my YouTube page. Thank you for listening and joining me as I welcome Dr. Sandra Hill, the author of Embracing Solitude. Let's give her a hand. Woo! Hello. Welcome, Dr. Sandra Hill. I am so excited that you're here.
I'm happy to be here, Suzette, one more time with you. Thank you for this open door. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm filled with gratitude that you want to even be with me on this platform, because the way I've been inspired lately by you is just amazing. The work you've produced it's an awesome body of work. And I would just say this book by itself is blessing my life. Put it in the camera so people can see.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's blessing my life. I'm actually still reading it, if you believe it or not. I thought I would have been done by now, but I found myself having to pause and take it in. take it in
Yes,
a lot
that's what
more.
a lot of people have shared with me. Yes.
Yes. So in case you're listening out there, I'm talking with Dr. Sandra Hill, and I've been expressing my gratitude for this book that she just wrote and published called Embracing Solitude, a guide to unlocking greatness in the process. And let me tell you, it's unlocking some things because as I told her not too long ago, I think yesterday I had to text her and say, this book is putting in words what I have not been able to express.
Wow, wow,
Yes.
wow.
It's identifying for me a process that I've been through. So I'm excited to have you share what inspired you with this book. And, what inspired you to write this book? It's so well written. And I've told you that I love how you express yourself as an author. And, I feel like it's easy to read. And at the same time, I need to take time digesting it. So tell the audience, Dr. Hill, first of all, remind them of who you are. A little bit about
Dr.
yourself.
Sandra Hill.
Yes.
I'm a
Tell us some
woman
more.
from born in Jamaica, the island of Jamaica, West Indies, here in America since I was 10 years old. I turned 10 after we landed here.
Okay.
And currently full-time job with the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, along with so many other things. Ministry, which is my love, which is my heart. In Maryland at Face to Face Worship Center with Pastor Anthony Page.
Yes.
Jail ministry. I have my own nonprofit, which is a reentry program for
Mm-hmm.
ex-offenders. Returning citizens is officially what we speak about them
Oh,
as they're returning into society. A mother, on top of all of
mother.
that, of three
Yes.
children, three adults, and four grandchildren who call me Nana.
Nana.
So
Oh, sweet.
I'm loving being here.
Yeah. So you have a whole full life and you're over here producing a beautiful work. And I know God is pleased because I can say it's been a powerful read. Um, and not only do you put your personal touch on it, but you provide professional. I feel you give a lot of insight that can help not only the average citizen, but I think even for someone who's a professional in the field as a therapist, I think
Yes.
it was just refreshing to read because you give some really good tips to help people get through.
Yeah.
So
Good.
again,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Tell us, what inspired this particular book.
This book really was inspired to kind of reconnect me with my inner self.
Okay.
Um, After
Wow.
pursuing, going through, not even pursuing, but going through a life change of divorce,
Yeah.
where I honestly was devastated and did not even, the truth be told, at some point didn't even want to live anymore. So
Wow.
it was during the pandemic, though, Suzette, that I
Yeah.
realized how single I was because I'm busy. I'm a busy person with work.
Yeah.
You heard a little bit that I told your audience, and so I really didn't realize until I had to sit still, and everything was shut down. That I kind of was like, "What? I'm here by myself." And
Wow.
as I was preparing to be on your show today, I thought to myself also that at that particular point in time, I kept saying, I don't want to die alone. Like, and I'm here by
Wow.
myself,
Wow.
because I lost friends in the pandemic that passed away
Mhm.
from having
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
So,
It was a
I
terrible
think
time,
that's
I think, for most people.
yes, that I
Yeah.
think that at that point I began to journal
Okay.
and write and make notes and
Okay.
started the book literally.
Yeah.
But then at once the COVID, they opened up the place and things like that, and I was back to my usual schedule. I put it down,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
about a year ago, I picked it up again and say, you know
Okay.
what? God revealed to me that I have 10 books to write.
Yes, I remember you saying
I
that on the first episode.
yes,
Yes.
and I only had done one, the woman of
Yeah.
purpose, the woman
Hmm.
of purpose, and
Which I
I
have,
said
by
I
the way.
need yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's good. Thank you.
yeah. So I said it's time to get started with this one. I have to
Hmm.
finish it literally because I had
Yeah.
a lot written down, but I just didn't put it together. So I've
Okay.
spent the last year like organizing it, adding to it,
Yeah.
doing all that needed to do to produce it.
You
So to
took your
God be
time
the
with it.
glory,
Yes.
yes,
We
for
can
what
tell
has
you,
happened.
yeah, you took your time with this because what you've put together is something excellent and just really amazing. So I could tell you took your time with it. You weren't rushing through it. You gave us
Mm-mm.
this was a God inspired book for
Yes,
sure.
yes. I wanted it to impact generations to come, to
Yeah.
be honest. My children have a copy of the book. My
Wow.
grandchild, who just went off to college at age 18, has a
Yeah.
copy and she shows it
Okay.
off in her dorm, you
Yeah.
know. So
Wow.
I wanted to impact lives and
Yeah.
specifically generations. Yes.
Hmm. And it
Yeah.
is. It really is impacting lives. And I certainly want to dive into this book because well, of course, we want the audience to be able to go and get a copy themselves, and definitely I will be sharing whatever link you may have for them to be able to purchase this copy. It is available on Amazon, correct?
It's available on Amazon. I believe I sent it to you last night.
Okay.
I have now been voted into the National Black Authors Association, and they have me out there on a spotlight this
Woo!
month. Yes, so you could
Oh my
share
gosh.
that piece because it has
Yes.
the link how to get directly into the book.
Okay,
Yes,
that is so
yes,
beautiful. You have a well deserved. Well, congratulations to you and all that the accolades that you're getting from just this book itself, because I
yes.
think people are recognizing how powerful it is and just how needed this really is. So for me, like you said, or like I said before, I think this book is really speaking to the process that I wasn't able to identify. There's some things that you write in
Yes,
the book
yes.
that really, I'll say, yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going through. That's what I've experienced, right? Or I'm going through it, or well, maybe I'll get there. So it's either one or the other. Everybody can find themselves at some point in the process with this book, and I think anyone would find it a great read. It's definitely therapeutic.
Thank you. That's from the therapist herself. So I
Yes.
accept
Okay.
that. I receive it. I've been
Yes.
very fortunate. Quite a few pastor friends of mine, they've
Hmm.
purchased the book for their whole congregation.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
yes, so as I have gone around the nation with it recently, that's what
Yeah.
happened. When I arrive, everybody has the book like hugging it up and holding it and waiting on. They're bypassing my little speech that I have to be online to talk to me personally
Wow.
about what it means to them. And I'm so grateful to God. I really didn't see this. I mean, my pastor spoke to me, he spoke into my life and he said, this book is going to blow up. It's going to reach the
Absolutely.
nations. He said
Absolutely.
things like that. But I kind of went, oh, that's just because you love me. You're saying those things.
No, I agree
But
with
he
him
was,
completely.
he was spot on, right? Because that's
Yeah.
the feedback I'm receiving. Yes.
Yeah. I underline so much in this book. I mean, this is not a book that you can just like read and just not stop and think.
I had a pastor who spoke at his church,
Yeah.
and he came with his book all highlighted with little sticky notes, with
Yeah.
little like things that he wanted to ask about or even get, the opinion of
Right.
what I was
Hmm.
saying in the book. It was just
Yes.
amazing. I thought it was
Yes.
hilarious. But he was like, no,
Absolutely.
this book is going to be with me for on this journey because he's divorced.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
And
Yeah.
I think it can be for the person contemplating divorce, someone who, and
Yes.
even for someone who's not divorced, because you speak a lot about just loneliness versus solitude. That was actually something that was eye opening to me. Just this idea of
Yes.
the difference between solitude and loneliness, and I know I can identify with both, but more so the pain of loneliness.
Yeah,
Anybody
and
can identify with
we
that.
use those two words exchangeable, like
Yeah.
people will say solitude is loneliness, but
Mm.
then I identify that it's not really
Not. It's
loneliness and
not.
begin to
Yeah.
explain that solitude is a choice.
It definitely is. It's definitely
Yeah,
different from
loneliness is
loneliness.
not necessarily a choice. It's
Right.
something that
Exactly.
it's a feeling of isolation, even when people are there.
Yes.
So
They can be
yes,
lonely when people are
yeah,
around. I know what that
yeah.
feels like in this process to feel a sense of loneliness. It's like you can't really identify with anyone around you because you're going through something so
Mm-mm.
unique. And that happens with people that are grieving.
Yes, well, and then what has been happening, Suzette, with the book, to
Yeah.
my amazement, because I really didn't see this coming, it
Hmm.
almost made me feel like I have some kind of calling for
Yeah.
bereavement,
Yes.
because it a lot of the people who waited online to speak to me, I've issued my cell phone number out there. They call
Yeah.
me at any given time to tell me how they feel about the book.
Yes.
It the majority of my readers, I believe, have been
Mm.
not only women but men and women who have
Mhm.
lost their spouse, who the spouse has passed away.
Right.
And they're literally, some of them, it's been years, 3 years or
Hmm.
so, and they're still grieving. And
Yeah.
people are saying to them, get over it. And
Never a
so the
good thing to
book
tell
to them
someone.
is a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
yes,
really amazing. And you do speak to
yeah,
that, to those people that are who are grieving, and they just that I mean after a while people might say those things, but you can't tell someone how long to grieve. I think you emphasize
right.
this idea of patience with yourself.
Yes, 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 yeah,
Absolutely. But I love
yeah.
here in the middle of loneliness, you do talk, you said something here, being alone after divorce does not mean being lonely. And that's the solitude you're talking about sometimes that we can have.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the solitude is more aloneness, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, when he went away from his disciples to, talk to his father on the mountain,
Yeah.
or wherever,
Yeah.
he sometimes needed to be in solitude with him,
Absolutely.
just to even hear from God. Because for
Yeah.
me, and I'm sure you can even identify with this, that it's a growing place,
It
really.
is.
My takeaway for this book is that solitude is a gift.
Oh yes. I can see that.
And it is. It was a
Yeah.
gift to me. And recently I even said to someone I was speaking to that I oftentimes still feel I'm in solitude, because from
Mm,
a ministerial standpoint, even praying for other people,
yeah.
sometimes you need that solitude to really
Hmm.
talk to God about whatever you're interceding for.
Yes.
Yes,
To be
yeah,
able to express yourself with just you and God, that is a moment of
right.
solitude. I love that you
Yeah,
said
because I'm a definite intercessor,
that. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I take prayer requests. I have church prayer requests, and I have a whole list of prayer requests of my own that people will just walk up to me and ask me to pray for them.
Yeah,
So, and I truly believe God hears my prayers,
of
because
course.
I can move into this solitude, this alone place, stay
Yeah.
focused on whatever that I'm praying about, and
Yeah.
really, intercede to God on behalf of this
Yeah.
person who is probably so weak or tired or so sick
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if we break up the word alone, it can be all one, right? Like that
Okay.
wholeness that we desire, it doesn't come when we're always in the company of others. But like I love what you talked about. It's in prayer with God, and it's our time with God is a moment of solitude. It's where we even become more solid as a person
Oh, good.
to
That's
grow in
good.
solitude.
Yes.
Right? And you're bringing those ideas out of me as I was reading it. So I was like, yeah, to be in a place of solitude, as you said earlier, you can grow in solitude. You're growing in wholeness when you give yourself that opportunity to be alone.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, to be
absolutely.
all one
I
with
would
God.
not be the woman that I am today if it
Yeah,
wasn't because of solitude. I
absolutely.
definitely made some notes here and said it's a state of being alone. It's a choice. It's where you
Yeah,
find peace. It's where you can
wow.
find God, to commune with God. It's
Mhm.
clarity that you find there because, you're moving away from the disruption of the world,
Yeah,
society, and everybody else's opinion.
yeah.
And I
Wow.
wrote also, it's a growing place
It's a
where you
growing.
may even find your purpose. Y-
Absolutely. Oh, I'm right there with you
Yes,
on that. I feel like I'm right there when I'm finding
yeah,
new purpose because, I'm
yes,
doing,
even new
yes,
purpose. Yes,
yes,
I'm like surprised
exploring.
about, the bereavement piece. Yeah,
Yes. That is so vital to find solitude. I think we all need that in order to become whole.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
I
and
really
it's
do.
so important.
And
And
and and
mhm,
again, from a ministerial standpoint, and
yeah,
especially pastors, the weight
yeah,
is heavy. The
yes,
weight is heavy.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
nobody really, from being working close to a couple pastors in my life,
Hmm.
no, I don't think anybody understands that weight. No matter how much
It's
we say
heavy.
we understand, their weight is heavy.
It's very
Yeah.
heavy. I'm
Yes.
very close to that. I can experience that closely seeing, my brother-in-law is a pastor and I've,
Yes,
watched
and you
him
guys are
pastor.
doing mighty work. And when you're
Yes,
impacting the community, like I'm watching you
absolutely.
all the
Thank you. So
time.
I appreciate that,
I
Dr.
can't
Hill.
help but watch it because you're
Oh,
there like
yes.
rooting it on.
They're just
But
starting to put some of the worship part in there. So,
oh,
starting to
okay.
see that soon. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been great to watch. It's a heavy work, and being
Yes.
one of the pastors, I
And your
get to
sister even,
support.
yeah.
Yes, Suzanne. Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely they're in it, and the work is great. I mean,
Yeah.
every day they have people calling on them, and we as other pastors just trying to help make the work lighter as well to support them, and also putting people in place like Moses had to do because he couldn't carry all
Mm-hmm.
the burden, right? Like
Right,
he got
right.
the advice from his father-in-law to, share the workload. We all need that.
Mm-hmm,
But coming
mm-hmm,
back to
mm-hmm.
solitude, I feel you expressing the difference between loneliness and solitude is so important. I know what loneliness feels like. If we could talk about loneliness for a moment, you talk about
Again,
this. Yeah, you talk
go
about that.
ahead, go. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying adding something to it. So for loneliness, I feel it's definitely again that place of isolation, even when you're in a room full of people. I've been there.
Yeah.
That it's a sense of you want connection, but
Hmm.
having it, like it's so difficult to have it because you're
Mm.
so sad.
Yeah.
You know,
Feels
it's
bad.
it's
Yeah.
it's and I'm sure it's out of that loneliness that we see distress and
Yeah.
depression and all the
Yes.
things that I remember my doctor saying to me when I was going through my divorce, you need to be on some medication.
I felt like that sometimes. I have.
Yes, yeah, and I,
It,
I was like, "I don't think so. because I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to do that. But I did say okay, but not for long, because I was determined I was going to
Yeah.
get through this. I was going to be
Yeah.
victorious with this thing. I did not want to live a lifetime on medication
Yeah.
fighting depression. I
Mm.
knew there had to be another journey out there for me. My mom
Yeah.
said to me, you're not a twin. I had you alone. You weren't born with this
And even
person.
twins. Yeah. And
You,
it's even
yeah.
harder.
Well,
Yeah.
you can identify with that. I
Yes.
have twins in my family. So when
Yeah.
I watch them, though, those twins do nothing without each other.
Yeah.
You know, they're adult men
That's
operating
the
with the same
difficulty.
personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom was like, "Oh no, you have your own journey."
Yes.
And this might be the not and letting go is a whole nother story in the book,
Absolutely.
because this may be where your journey may end, where so you can move on to
Yeah.
next.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
That is so important to recognize, the value of you, and not while you can identify with others on the journey, you have your own path to carve out. And that's what you're
Yes.
doing, and others are following you.
Yeah, but our lives are so intertwined. I
So
use this in the
intertwined.
book, with each other, that we become like this, exactly like this person. We really lose ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the beginning point is having to restructure yourself,
Mm-hmm.
get back to the person you are, know the gifts that and the talents and all the skills that God has given you. He says we're, you're marvelously and wonderfully made. And we
Yes.
forget that, because here we're
Oh,
married to this husband that we sometimes even begin to look like each other, you know?
wow. I love that you
Yeah.
said married to this person, because it reminded me of the name of this podcast, Married to His Will.
Yes, married to his
And he has
will.
a yes, he has a divine purpose for each of us individually. You talked about this whole idea of being born alone, right? I'm fortunate to be born a twin, an identical twin, and what the struggle can be that all my life I'm used to being around people, having a twin, and coming out of a marriage that was a long lasting marriage, 19 years. And the pain of loneliness is one I never experienced to the extent I did. Even though in my marriage I experienced loneliness as well, like you talked about, you can be with someone and be lonely, and that was horrible pain. But there's even more pain when you are really like not in the presence of anyone, and you realize I have to do this by myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to do
Mm-hmm.
this. I have to get through this. There were times I'm like, maybe I need medication. This is too painful.
And there's some disappointment that goes with
Yes.
it. And what you're experiencing, though, Suzette, I think mostly, because as I look, I had to go review my life to be on this show with you today. I,
Yeah.
I think it was that, definitely those 5 stages of grief.
Yes.
Because, the denial part, and what you even talked about, where you said, I can't do this by myself. It's like this anger piece,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, and that's a
Yes.
part of the 5 stages.
Yes.
Um, it seems
Mhm.
so unfair. I've heard that
Yes.
along
Yes.
the journey of this book. It's so
Mhm.
unfair that
Mhm.
that came from a bereavement standpoint, because people are
Yeah.
mad at God. It's so
Absolutely.
unfair, God, that you would take my husband from me,
Yeah.
and but we feel that unfairness as we're going through the divorce process also,
Absolutely.
especially if something unexpected happened, or the
Yeah.
person didn't do things the way they should have, or or they did things they wanted to do and whatever. And
Yeah.
so it becomes anger. That's really
Absolutely.
what that is. Yeah.
And I found out you talked a lot about self awareness, which is so key to self discovery. That when you were talking about self discovery earlier in the
Yeah,
book,
the
you
first
talked about
chapter.
self
Yeah.
importance of self awareness. That I had going through my marriage. I felt like my ex husband didn't have that self awareness, right? And so the marriage ended, but even coming through this, I'm like, that unfairness you talk about, that bargaining that happens with God,
That's
that's a
it.
part of the
Bargaining is
process of
another
grief.
stage.
Yes,
Yes,
it's a stage of
yes.
grief, and it's
As
like,
I went back looking at that, I was like, yes, yes, yes. We were going through those stages of grief.
yes, we were, and I
Yeah,
can identify
yeah,
them. Yeah, like if I didn't, if, could maybe if I thought of this, or then the unfairness you talk about. Why is he thriving? I'm left with all the stress. I'm left with everything.
yes,
Like
yes,
he's thriving
yes,
over there, no care, whatever. But over here, I feel like I'm left with he got the better deal. So God, what's
yeah.
this
That's
all
part of the
about?
anger and the
The
bargaining,
anger,
right?
yes,
Because
together.
the five stages, the author that wrote the book, Death and Dying, who did we get these five stages from? She distinctly
Hmm.
said, it's not linear, right? I think you
No,
said that. No.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
so
linear.
it
Yes,
doesn't
you're
happen. It can, it doesn't happen like step by step by step, those grief
right.
process. It could even happen
Hmm.
like I just said to you, it's the anger, with the
Hmm.
bargaining. So it's not linear.
Exactly.
Yes,
Simultaneously
yeah.
or at different times, it can
Or
happen. I
different
get that.
times or out of line. When we
Exactly.
speak of them, we say, you know, say them in order like denial, anger,
Yes.
bargaining,
Yes.
depression,
Hmm.
acceptance. But
Yes.
that's not how it goes,
Doesn't go.
you know.
And I
Yeah.
make sure to tell my clients that because, they may be thinking they're out of one, but here they're backtracking into one again. So it,
Yes, yes.
it ebbs and
And it's
flows.
okay. It's
Hmm.
okay. Yes.
Absolutely. It really
Yeah.
does.
I
So
have
I,
some women that have reached out to me with the bereavement piece,
mhm,
and they would say, if I only could have done it better, or
mhm.
I could have done something different.
Yeah,
That bargaining thing is like,
real.
if I even one person, her husband was ill, he passed away, and he never told her.
Yeah.
So she's mad at him, she's angry. And then she said,
Wow.
but he knows that I'm always there for everybody else and I could have done more. I could have done more. And
Yeah.
that bargaining comes on. And
Yeah.
then, yeah. So you see that all these stages and their grief.
It is
Yeah.
grief. I
Because
realize.
even us as divorcees, I'm sorry,
No, go
Suzette,
ahead. Go
but
ahead. No.
yeah, we also go through, because I kind of went, oh, if I did something different in my marriage,
Mhm.
maybe it would have lasted. Or because, of
Mhm.
course, you have to take responsibility for stuff
Yeah.
yourself.
Mhm.
And, so I kind of like, yeah, went through that
Yeah.
bargaining stage
Right.
as well. Like, I wish I had done this. I wish I had
Yeah.
spent more time doing
Mhm.
this or that with him, whatever. Yeah.
Mhm. Wow. As for me
Yeah.
and my ex, the only bargaining I've done is about the fact that I married him. Because honestly, I know I tried everything with this person. So, but I understand
Well,
though, there's still those times where you're like, well, maybe I could have made the household less stressful, or what could I have done to make it better? So he didn't get all that upset, but I put that onus on him for how he behaved. But so that bargaining is real. I can identify with that wholeheartedly. But my issue is anger. Anger for me, I realize in my self discovery, is that
mhm.
for me, I internalize anger in a way where I tend to blame myself. Like I'll
Mhm.
want to look at me first. I don't like get outward and try to blame anybody. And so I've been discovering that as I'm building more self awareness, that
Mhm.
because I couldn't identify when I've been angry really, and or how I express anger sometimes. Because I mean, I know how I express anger at my kids. It's easy to yell at them and tell them to do something, but I try not to do that. But for
But you,
myself,
but you, I'm not, let me just stick a pin right there,
that's
because what happens
yes,
is you wearing a mask so much,
yes,
you can't identify the anger.
that's
You
the
know what I
part.
mean? Because
Yeah,
especially if we're in society where, you're in the church, you're doing
yes,
all this great stuff.
everywhere.
There's no way you can not be happy about Jesus, because this is
Yeah.
what we're called to do, is to,
Yeah.
save souls. And so we can't like show the real
Anger.
stuff we're going through. And so
Yeah.
that's why we can't identify some of these things truthfully until we're
Truthfully.
ready, until we grow to a place. Because this is another whole thing, lesson on the mask. We
Yeah.
have to slowly take that mask off,
Mm.
you know,
Or even
and then,
learning how to process through that, because
right, that's true, yes.
I feel like I forgive so easily and quickly. I might be denying myself a process, or maybe I'm not allowing myself to be angry at anyone, you know. And so I forgive quickly. I feel like I let go quickly. And I don't always see that as a bad thing, but I wonder how much I take the time to really process what they did to me, or what I
Yeah, to
feel
take care
like,
of yourself.
yeah, to take care
Yeah,
of myself, because I
yeah.
feel like, okay, I understand where they're coming from and I let it go. But am I really taking care of myself when it comes to anger and that emotion? Do I
Yeah.
even embrace anger at any point? Maybe I saw anger in such an ugly way. I don't allow myself to feel it.
It was like I got that when you were talking about it, because you sounded like, and when I say you, me, I
Yeah,
saw it with my life too. But anger feels so terrible to us that we
yeah.
quickly forgive because
Wow.
it feels out of character for us. But
Yes.
that's not our character.
My God.
Yeah.
It's so
And
deep.
that's a good thing, the forgiveness
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
However, then now we have to take care of self. And I think
Absolutely.
that, in this journey, trust me, even writing the book, it was a healing for me,
I was
right?
crying through some of it. I'm like, what the truth? Like, oh my God. Like, I feel so seen. Like, it's not abnormal what I'm going through. And I feel like what you're bringing up, pulling out, like you said, it's unlocking greatness in the process,
Yes,
because
yes,
it's
yeah,
having me
yeah.
think, well, what can I do for the person who's like myself, who I'm a therapist, I wear all these different hats and can't necessarily break apart in front of others. There is a therapist who is questioning certain things like I am. How can I feel this horrible and still be helping someone? These are the things I'm thinking about as I'm being helped by your book. I'm like, well, coming up with questions of how do I
Healing,
help healing,
healing while you're hurting.
be healing while you're hurting. So
Or
you're
hurting while you're healing,
you're
because you
actively
as
trying
the
to heal others.
therapist,
Yeah,
yes, you're hurting while you're healing. And God,
healing.
and it's God.
Yeah,
There's no, for me, there's no other answer,
no,
right?
it's only
Because it
God.
doesn't even make sense. And when
Yeah,
stuff don't make sense like that, it's not even in we because we want to control it, right?
yeah.
And so once we let it go and realize, and even as we look back, you're not the same woman I spoke to a year
I was
ago.
just thinking about that.
No, you're not.
I'm
And I
not.
can recognize that as I
Yeah,
watch you even on social media.
yeah. I've
So it's
changed.
hurting
Hmm.
while you're healing. That's a good
Absolutely.
title for a book.
Hurting while you're healing. Ooh,
Yes.
honey. Yeah.
Yes.
And even
Yeah.
my belief system, just things that I know, or thought I knew then. I'm just, I have a more formed understanding of who I am, and just
Mm-hmm.
my belief
Mm-hmm.
system. And sometimes I may not voice certain things, even in the presence of my family or others, because I'm learning differently, right? And it may just
Yes.
be,
Yes.
maybe it's not time to voice how I think about that versus how they
Yeah.
think about that. But God is,
Yes.
I'm being,
Yes.
you took the words out of my mouth. I've really changed, and I'm still becoming who God wants me to become in this process. And
Yes.
I may look so different from who I used to be. And
That's
people have to get
right.
used to that. I'm having to get used to
Yeah.
who I am now
Yeah.
versus
And I
then.
know from even a divorce standpoint, even with the
Yeah.
church. at
Church.
how they look at it, right? Because,
Mhm.
we've been raised in, well, you've been raised more in church than I was focused on church.
Yeah.
But, when, especially when, the pieces of scripture that talks about God hates divorce,
Yes. Yes.
in the
That
Bible.
part.
And
Hmm.
that's, we have been, it has been ingrained in our head
Absolutely.
forever.
Forever.
So, and the church's head, right?
Yes.
And so, when it's almost like, they don't want us to even celebrate this thing that
No.
we're finding this, in this solitude. They
Come on.
probably would rather us be shameful about it. But
That's the
that's not
part.
God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So which is God,
Yeah.
right? So that behavior and I think people isolate scripture a lot to suit their
Yes.
agenda or what they think is right. And it
Yeah.
isolates a lot of people that are going through real issues that they didn't bring
Yes.
upon themselves. These are just real human issues. And
Yes. Yes.
Jesus knew how to be. He was touched by the feelings of our infirmities. He knew how
Yes.
to get down with us and help us
And he
where
was
we were.
compassionate about everything that
Compassionate.
happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wasn't
So,
like, oh, God hates divorce. You shouldn't, or God hated this, so he
yeah.
didn't use this to build someone, and
Right.
so we
He
can't
wasn't
isolate
judgmental
scripture.
like that.
He
Yeah.
wasn't. He wasn't. And something that can be something can be hated but utilized because it's not everything we so like divorce is a for me was an escape from a bad marriage. And a lot of someone was saying to me today how so many women are people generally are in an abusive situation and they don't feel like they can go to the church because perhaps the church haven't dealt with that issue or they feel they may be building up this man, right? And think this man is so great, but they're behind closed doors. He's not living an integrous life because he's abusing his
I
woman.
in my tour in a church, I talked about the fact. Oh, not on in the church. It was on the
Mhm.
radio because they interviewed
Okay.
me on the radio and podcasts
Okay.
and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it so happened a young lady that was interviewing me on her podcast was one of
Hmm.
my mentees while I was in this mega church in Miami,
Hmm.
Florida. And she distinctly remembers that my doctoral dissertation was, how does the church respond to victims of domestic violence?
Right.
And that was my doctoral dissertation topic.
Wow.
And my pastor allowed me to do everything with it: survey the congregation, have
That's so awesome.
workshops,
Yeah.
talk to the people. He's single, was single and still is single.
Yeah.
So he kind of understood. And what came out of that was, um, well, first and foremost, because I went to seminary, a lot of my friends are pastors. So I went to like 150 churches to
Wow.
do this work in the state of Florida.
That's awesome.
And some of my darling friends who adore me would
Yeah.
not allow me to come into their church with that topic. How, like,
Wow.
oh
Because they
no,
don't want to
Sandra,
face the.
no, your topic is wonderful, but my church don't have those issues.
Wow.
On the flip side of that, some of my good friends as well, I have to go to probably my grave with some confidential stuff they shared with me of how they
Yeah.
treated their wives so badly.
Wow.
As from a pastoral standpoint. And then we found deacons and deaconesses, people who have big titles in churches who were struggling with domestic violence in their home and could not go to the church.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get it. I get it. Yeah. I mean, the key to that I believe I
Yeah.
have in the book is having a supportive community.
Yeah.
Well, and I always emphasize this: somebody or people you can trust,
Absolutely.
not somebody that's going to judge you. I know when I was going through and then I decided I was going to be I wanted a divorce, I talked to my mom first because I felt like she would have some wisdom to give me and she wouldn't judge me. That is who she always has been. She never ever judged
Wow.
me. I was her wild child, sort of. So she never really judged me per se. You know, she
That's
would be through
beautiful.
with me. She didn't agree with some things I did,
Yeah.
but I went to my mother first. And then not a lot of people either. You know, just a few
Yeah.
people that I could trust with my
Wow.
stuff. Because unfortunately, the church can't even handle our stuff sometimes,
No,
you
because
know?
we want everything to be pretty and rosy and,
Yes, yes,
but
yeah.
the real church, I think, is we have to become practical with people.
Yes, yes,
Jesus was.
yes,
He met people where they were. He met the woman at the well where she was. He was
yes.
very
Right. That's my
intentional.
story. I love
Yeah,
that. The
yeah,
woman at,
yeah. So he was
yeah, and
very
I think these
intentional.
younger pastors, or I'm not quite sure how your brother-in-law feel. I've never really
Mhm.
sat with him in a
Yeah.
conversation, but he seemed like he's out there, like telling the truth, you know?
Yes, absolutely. We're so,
And of course, Pastor Anthony Page, you know,
yeah,
he's not trying to cover stuff up,
exactly. We're
you
dealing with
know?
real people. We can't be
Real
fake.
people with real issues.
Yeah, with real
Yes.
issues. We're dealing with a whole community, and a
Yes.
lot of the people that are in our church are young adults, 20,
Yeah.
that age group, 21, 20, and of course, we have a lot of teenagers. I mean, we cannot be anything but real. 20,
Yeah.
30. We have a multi generational church, but we
Yes,
have
and the truth of the matter is it's kingdom work,
it's
right?
kingdom work. It's kingdom
It's
work,
not
and
necessarily even behind the closed walls of the church.
yeah,
We're tapping into this broad kingdom
yeah,
that God, has
yeah,
left for us
yeah.
to handle, to represent
Absolutely.
Him in the earth.
Absolutely. And your book is
Yeah.
definitely doing that. Going back to this embracing solitude, I think the solitude piece of it is what's the hope that we can find solitude even when we're alone with
Yes.
God.
Yes.
But we
Yes.
also need to reach the ones that are isolated and lonely because they can't identify themselves even among the body. And we should be able to do that.
Right. Yes, yes, I agree totally. I
We should
agree
be able.
totally. I recently joined a community Facebook group.
Okay.
Pastor Tony has one and he's been getting, trying to encourage me to do that. And I asked, why? Like, how does that add value to my life? That was me. But I went ahead and joined somebody else's, and then now I turned back and joined his because I find that there's some things behind those community groups where they could discuss maybe or release some information that they may not even be able to release in the church, and find
Mm,
hope in those groups. Because I do
absolutely.
know what the one that I did join there, that that pastor, and it's a pastor,
Yeah.
he's really doing a mighty work with those group of people, some of them who may never come to church.
You are so correct. Um,
Yes.
I had to pop a cough drops in because I kept coughing.
Yes,
But
yes.
you're absolutely correct. I think I really feel like the church I'm a part of, Deeper Church, is where we're done with that old school mentality where it's
Right,
about things
right.
having to be a certain way. We want to reach the lost. That's our job. And we can't reach people who are isolated and lost if we're going to be in our this mindset that things have to be the way it used to be, right? We have to be
Mm-hmm,
willing to now become aware of our issues as a church and not be in denial of them.
mm-hmm.
Not be in
I
denial of
agree.
them. Yeah.
I
Oh
agree
goodness, I
totally.
could talk to you for as long as I could because there's so much in this book. Oh my goodness! But I'm not going to give everything away. I want the people to go and get this book so they can
Yes,
click on the link,
ma'am.
put whatever links I have and whatever else you want to send me, so I can make sure that they have this a link to get this book because I'm telling you, you will not regret it. and first of all, I have to say thank you to you, Dr. Sandra Hill, for sending me my own copy with your words of encouragement to me.
Yes.
I'm just like, this woman she never falls short of giving an encouraging word. And I'm so thankful for you and God bringing you into my life.
And
And
there are illuminating possibilities in the
yes,
victory at the end of the story. We don't lose. We just don't lose,
we
you
don't
know.
lose at all. We already have the
Yes.
victory. We really
Yes.
don't. You know,
And
there's
we grow and we become, you said we had to, I'm not going to repeat that, but we're different people. So
yeah.
after it's lessons that we learn even
Hmm.
in the bad times,
And
right?
and
Now being a woman in her 60s,
yeah.
do I think that I'd possibly date or get married again?
Yeah, tell me about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you should.
So
I mean, you're a beautiful woman outside and inside. So it's all possible.
dating
I
in
love
the 60s, though,
that.
looks
Hmm.
very, very different
Yes, I
from my
agree.
earlier years of life,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
I must say, I'm more confident,
Yes.
not desperate.
Right.
I have clearer understanding of what I really want in a relationship.
Hmm.
Um, I, I, I I mean, I believe that the dating pool, I don't know this to be a fact because and I'll get to that in 1 second, but I'm not
Okay.
really a dater. At this
Okay.
age, I'm not going to be be somebody's girlfriend for 10 years.
Come
It's
on.
just
No,
not
no,
going to
no. I'm
happen.
not doing
I
that.
can't even, I don't even have that time, right?
No, ma'am. It's either no, this is it or not. Okay. Let's not
But I
waste
believe the
time.
dating pool, though, for over 60, is a little smaller,
Okay.
you know. But I
Hmm.
think it could be a time to meet people who have gone through similar stages of life
Yes.
that
Hmm.
I've gone through or we've gone through. Because the
Yeah.
majority of people that I have met that have approached me,
Hmm.
have been married,
Yeah.
divorced,
And I think
have
that's to be
adult
expected.
children, have grandchildren, and things like that. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So
Hmm.
I believe that the little bit of dating that I'm doing is more relaxed and
Okay.
more focused and more compatible, and it's about our shared interests.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
adults dating. It's
Yeah.
not all about, getting to the sex. Can I
Right.
keep it
Exactly.
real? Can I keep
Yeah.
it
Be
real
real on
about
here. This
getting
is
to the
all about
sex?
being real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
It's not
about
just about
that.
that. Yeah.
It's deeper than that.
Hmm.
Um,
That's important.
and and for me at this stage too, and I believe most, well, some people that I know
Hmm.
who are there also. And I really believe this is where I wanted to take the book to, that peace. Peace is a
Yeah.
priority in my life now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
have
We
to
will
learn
not.
to get along and just be each
Yes.
other's greatest cheerleaders
Yeah.
and
Ain't nobody have
supporters.
time to be miserable again. We're not
No,
going to know
no,
a whole lot of arguing. We're not going to be arguing. No, no, no. Let's be mature.
no.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
I
love
feel
that.
like I'm content
That's beautiful.
in being single.
That's good.
However, I'm open to the possibility of love. I
I
love
love
love.
that.
Yeah, I love
Yay.
love. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that for you. I love that you're still open to that. That you haven't
I
said,
am definitely open to the
yeah.
possibility of love. I mean, Jesus loved us so much, that he gave his only begotten son for us.
That is
Like,
beautiful.
why would we stop loving?
Yeah.
I
Y'all
can't give
hear that?
somebody that much power.
And love. I was hearing another Lecturer Whitfield. He was saying he has another podcast called Their Future Wifey, and he was talking about
Oh,
the fact
yes,
that
yes, yes. I
yeah,
saw you with
love.
him.
Yes,
Yes.
we had I was so privileged to meet him. but he was saying, love really makes you youthful. Come on, it kind
Oh,
of,
okay.
yeah, it brings you back to, it rejuvenates you. And when a couple comes together, it doesn't matter how old they are, it gives you that youthfulness again. There's that energy that's flowing between you. That's just a beautiful thing. And so, how can we
Yes,
deny
yes.
ourselves of that wonderful love? That is so possible. So, I'm really happy to hear you talk about that. Um, it's great. And so, if any man out there is listening, that I'm just kidding. She's on the market. She's on the market. It's great.
I mean, I really want, that's a whole different other stories. I really want the person that God would have me to have
Yes.
now.
Yes.
I don't want to do anything. I don't want to pick. I don't want to, I'm not,
I hear
I
you.
want God, the person to be sent by
Yes.
God.
I hear
I think
that.
it's so much easier that way.
So much easier.
Yeah.
He got me right under your nose. Okay.
Yes,
Lord,
right?
let it be. Yes, let it be your heart's desire. May you receive everything that God has for you in this season of your life. This book is helping many already. I know it's helping me. I'm still like at a few more pages to go. I love that you put a reflection and prayer at the end of each chapter.
Yeah, and I did. I don't know if you looked at the acknowledgments because those reflections
Yeah.
came from nobody else but Bishop Kenneth Chisholm,
Oh,
your
I didn't realize
previous
that.
pastor. Yes, I honored him there and told him thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing them with me
I
that
did
I
not
could
realize
use
that.
them. Yes,
They were
yes,
really
yes.
good. Reflect and pray.
Yeah,
That's great. Oh, I actually
yeah.
do see his name. When I see one here from Pastor Karen.
Yes, so it
Yes.
was his whole series on, I don't
Oh.
remember if it was singleness, and those were his topics.
Oh yes, I
Yes,
remember. And I see one. Yeah. So yeah,
yes,
they're
yes. So
definitely
I
here.
had to ask his permission to use them and all of that, and he was
Yes, I
so
see
great,
here. Yeah, Pastor
gracious.
Ken. Real faith operates with ancient
Yes,
information.
yeah.
Wow, that's great.
He's a man of wisdom, you know?
Yeah. And he has
Yeah.
people with him that are working too that are great.
Yes, yes,
You'll never come
yes.
out of a process empty-handed. That's
I
something
know,
to
I
really
love
proud of.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So
Because my singleness has basically allowed me to develop spiritually.
yeah,
You know,
me
it has
too.
allowed me deep personal growth.
More
And
than
so not
ever.
and I never even thought all that would happen. I was just moaning and groaning about
Yeah.
the process.
Wow.
You
Look at
know?
God. That was God that brought you
Yeah.
through so you could tell your story and your testimony to someone else who needs this kind of strength. And I know you're strengthening me through this book. Listen, everybody go get this book by Dr. Sandra Hill, Embracing Solitude.
Thank
There's
you,
so much we would say.
Suzette.
We could say more about it, but go out there and get it. It's a great self-help book. I think it's great for any clinician who wants to help someone who's going through a
Right. It
divorce
is
or
in
going
the
through
it's
loneliness.
in the Christian psychology
Yes.
section of
Okay.
Amazon. Yes,
Okay. I
yeah.
love that. So I'm glad that it's actually recognized that way because it certainly
Yes,
needs that
yes.
recognition. And I want to say thank you to you, Dr. Hill, for sharing your time with me. Um, I think anybody who's going to get this book, also, she said in this book, invest in a journal. Get a journal along with this, and perhaps you
I
might
have a
have a good.
journal. I
You
created
do?
a journal.
Oh, for
Yes.
it?
So they can look on Amazon
Oh,
and
great.
you'll see the journal pop up with it.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna. This is that. I was gonna say you probably need to put the journal to it, but she already beat me to it. I'm happy to hear that. So
Yes, it's on
again,
Amazon. It's they provide it on there for me as well. Yeah.
okay, this is a great
And
read.
it's called the Solitude Journal.
Okay,
And it has Embracing Solitude, my book, on it. Yeah.
okay, man, this
Hmm.
is just so great. So yes, go get your copy, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Hill. I
You're
always tell
welcome.
the folks that it doesn't matter what you are, what you're going through, where you are in the process in life. There's always someone who have gone through it, and I think God has provided this platform for myself so I can share as well and have others share their journey along with me. And it's because the word says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
Word
So
of our
we're not going to be
testimony.
ashamed.
That's right.
Yeah, to
No,
share it. Do you have any last
absolutely.
words for those who are listening to encourage the people?
Regarding the book, Pastor Tony wrote this in a foreword. He says, "It is my prayer that you will see this book as just not another book to read and then place it upon a bookshelf as a task completed."
Right.
He says, "I pray that this captivating work becomes a manifesto, a call to action that provokes you to do the work, to
Wow.
put in practice the chronicled instructions and principles that Dr. Hill took her time to meticulously chronicle."
Wow.
And I think you can't say it any better than that. It's not a regular book to put
No.
on your bookshelf. It
Mm-mm.
is definitely a book, because I said to you, take your time with it, Suzette.
Yes, you
You
did.
know, take your time, go step by step,
Yeah,
chapter by chapter. It's a healing.
it
It
definitely
is my prayer that it will heal people of whatever the pain is.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh my God. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And with that said, what else can we say about that?
It's nothing left to say.
Yeah. Thank
I
you, Dr.
love you,
Hill.
and I'm
Love
glad
you
to have been here with
too.
you.
I'm so excited that I got the opportunity to talk with Dr. Sandra Hill. I'm sure you enjoyed hearing all that she had to share about her book. And please, please support her and this book. I'm telling you, God is bringing her places. And I'm not just saying it because I'm connected to her, but honestly, I think this is a great read for everyone. And it has really blessed my life. Are you trying to figure out who you are? Are you wondering what the next steps are in your life? Are you trying to navigate through painful challenges of loss? Have you found yourself unraveling and shedding layers that no longer serve you? Embracing Solitude is the book for you. Um, I gain nothing much by advertising this here. Honestly, I don't gain anything from doing this. All I gain is the satisfaction that I also have benefited from this book. And I want you to experience what I've experienced. It is a great read. So go out and get it. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. I want to always remind you that no matter where you are, you may feel stuck where you are. You may be going through a hard time in life. Something is going on with you. But you took the time to listen to me today and Dr. Sandra Hill. Just listen. God has a plan for you that will blow your mind if you just trust Him and keep walking the journey. I want you to remain married to His will. God bless you.